G'day, Justin Hogg here again. Getting close to the new year, time to start thinking about those new year resolutions. And in thinking about that, I thought I'd share a little bit of a personal story with you guys, and also how you can take that and actually use that in your business to help get things moving. In business, and this is through both business and personal life, in everything we do, we tend to, one degree or another, procrastinate a little bit about things. Now, this can quite often be that we know we want to do something, and it can be something as simple as New Year's are great for, we're going to go to the gym, or we're going to, get fit, or I'm going to start learning a language. Or for business, it could be the same type of thing. It's time to, quite often businesses, December's a bit slower, they take time to think, reset, recalibrate, and think, well, what is it that we want to do? We often do that thinking about the what, and then never do anything about it. So that's great. We had these great resolutions, this great plan, did nothing. So I wanted to share a personal sort of learning I had in doing this, and how it now helps me move forward through that procrastination, and it might help some of you guys out there. So about, how long ago was it now? Probably about 6 years ago, I decided I wanted to run a 10K race. That seems crazy. I know for me, when I was contemplating it, I was like, that seems like a ridiculous thing to do. Why do I want to do this? Now, I made the mistake at the time of mentioning it to my personal trainer, who I had once a week, and she thought it was a great idea. So I was caught now, and it's like, okay, well, cool, we're going to do it. All right, good. So the what had been decided. We decided, yes, I'm going to run a 10K race, and that's what we're going to do. Great. A few weeks passed, and my personal trainer said, well, how's the preparation for the 10K race? Because obviously you can just go and run a 10K race, but it's better to prepare for it and plan for it so you have more chance of finishing it. So obviously there was a lead up to it, and I was going to start training for it. And so she checked in and said, well, so how's the training going? And I was like, oh, well, I've got to get some shoes, and I haven't got a hat yet, and I'm thinking about whether I need to get a heart rate monitor, because I haven't done that type of thing before. And as you could expect, not impressed. And at this point, she gave me probably the best piece of advice I've gotten from her, and generally speaking, that I now apply to my business. And she said, just start. And I'm like, but I don't have the right shoes. She said, are you running the race today? Well, no, I'm not running the race today. Well, go for a run, go for a walk. Start walking 2-3K, start doing something. Do something towards your goal, and start today. So don't have these reasons that you need to put in place. Don't overcomplicate the how. Don't worry about the how, just start. And as you start, you'll begin to find the things that you need most importantly, and then they're the things that you'll get next. But you already have started. Why this is great advice was I then did start, and I found that, yeah, absolutely, as much as I had conceptualized and planned out how I thought getting to that end goal would work, it played out nothing to plan, nothing went to plan. I had to deal with, I had a few injuries along the way because I'd never run that type of distance before. My body wasn't ready for it. So I had to change a few things. I had to change how I thought I was going to train. I had to change part of how I was planning to run. You then start understanding how your diet affects you. So all these things started playing in. So that's great. You've understood how I've learned to run. And yes, I did finish the 10K race, and I've gone on to do some more running, because for those of you out there who love running, it's addictive and you just can't give it up once you start. But how does all that apply to business? Recently, I've had a couple of strategy sessions with businesses, and where they're successful and they're reaching a point where they've achieved their goals of what they started to, and they're starting to decide, well, what's next? And they're starting to get clear on the what. But because they're used to being in business, they say, okay, I know what I want to do, but how do we do it? And they're getting really focused in on the how. They don't want to start that next step until they understand the how. So it's like, well, no, we need to understand, well, what business plan, we need a plan, we need to understand business plan, what resourcing we need to do, can we do that? And they get super focused on the how and the planning stage of it, that effectively they've been doing that for 6 months now. That's part of the conversation is, well, why don't you just start? Like, you understand, like, you're pretty clear on what you want to do. Why don't you just start down the path? Start, add the service to your website, or, start asking clients that you currently work with if they want this additional service that you're wanting to start to provide. Just feel it out, get an understanding of what's going on. And as you start, the same process as when I started to learn how to run, as you start down that process, you'll get a better understanding of what is involved in the how, and then you can revisit the how. And that's what happens in business. The how is always changing. What you want to do tends to stay the same. It's the how you're doing it that evolves. And it's the same thing with you're starting a business. Quite often people go, I've got this great idea. I want to go out and get rid of homelessness, or I want to solve that, or I want to cure cancer, or I want to start my own business where I take my hobby and I make something of it. But I need to know how I'm going to do that. Well, no, you don't need to know how. You need to know what. That's what you need to know. So when you look at setting goals, planning, it's the what, it's the goal. That's the important part. The how, you can sort of learn as you go. So I know someone who, an entrepreneur who comes up with hundreds of ideas. He doesn't get too involved in the how. What he does, I've got this idea, I think it might work. And I want to progress it, so I want to start. He starts everything. How he does that? He sets up a website for every single idea he has. Sets it up. Doesn't do any SEO, doesn't do anything like that. Just sets up a website using Wix or whatever process you want to use. He's pretty good at WordPress, so he just does a WordPress website, chucks it up, has a customer feedback form, has that coming back so he can see if anyone's interested, and just puts it out there. He's only had a few businesses that have really taken, but that's how they started, was he set up a website and it just grew. People saw it, they thought it was a good idea. Yes, we would like that product. And as soon as he gets that interest, he goes, cool, we'll get back to you, engages those people, because he'd still like to sell to those people. But it's a form of market testing without doing too much. But he started it. And as soon as you start it, things start to happen. The universe comes in and says, oh, look, you're wanting to actually progress. Let's see how we go. So that's my advice, and something that I tell myself all the time in terms of when I'm getting caught up in, oh my God, how is my personal business? Where am I going? I don't understand how I'm going to do this part of my business, which is part of my plan. I know I'm going to do it. I'm not there yet. I don't know how I'm going to do it. That's okay. You don't need to know how. You need to know what, and you need to be confident in the belief that you know what you're doing and that you're resourceful. Then when you get to that point where you need to work out the how, you'll work it out because you want the what. You're there for that reason. You're clear on the reason, and you'll keep moving through to get that reason. So bringing it back to the fact that it's nearly New Year's, we're going to start thinking about our resolutions. I would challenge you, make those resolutions now. Why do you need to wait till January 1? Make the resolution now and start now. Get a jump in it. You've got a month, depending on when you watch this video, a month, a few weeks, whatever, before the new year. Start now. And then by the time January 1 comes around and you lock in those new resolutions, you'll already have started. So you'll have a jump start on that resolution, and you might get it done earlier, or you might even just get it done. That's my advice, business advice this video. If you'd like to see more videos, I've got a whole heap of stuff, both on sort of advice for your business, but also accounting, and some templates on there on YouTube. Feel free to subscribe, because there'll be always more videos coming up with these advices, with this advice, both on business and also on accounting tips and techniques and templates. Until next time, it's Justin Hope from Iceless. I'll catch you later.